Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of Feed the Beast, and happy Friday the 13th. Let's hope my episode goes as planned. We need to make a bunch of IC2 stuff today. By the way, I forgot to mention in the last episode, I appreciate the tip on the ejector upgrade. I got some comments about outputting to a side, and you just shift right click on any machine and it'll change the output side of the upgrade. So thanks for that, guys. I figured that there was some way to do it, but I didn't figure it out before I recorded. So I want to start making more iridium. Really the only thing I can use it for is the gravisuit, but I think that's a good enough reason, and I just want to do it. So a couple of the recipes have changed since I last did this. The reinforced stone recipe is the main one. We have to spray some construction foam on an iron scaffold. So I went ahead and made some stone dust and a thermal centrifuge. You have to use that for one other thing. But let's go ahead and make this. We're going to need one of those. We're going to need to make the sprayer. And then we're going to need some powder. And we probably only need one. We'll see. We're going to need to make the scaffolds as well. And I forgot to make the iron fence, so we're going to need to extrude some iron item casings, and we'll only do as many as we need. And I probably could have made a recipe for this, but it's not something I'm going to be doing a lot of, so I didn't worry about it. Okay, so we've got 16 of those. And let's sleep. I haven't bothered to make a magnum torch, so I still get spawns over here. I'm usually in the base though, so it's not a huge deal. So you can use this stuff in the canning machine, but I didn't really test that out because if you just put a block of water in the world, you can turn it into the stuff. Alright guys, come on. So if you right click the powder, see that water changed? If we take our sprayer and right click it, now it has a bucket of foam in it. So this does, I think it does 8 at a time. We'll see. So if you spray your foam on these, see it turned into foam. It takes a while to harden. However, if you right click it with sand, it does it immediately. So now we can break these, which take forever. So give me just a minute. Alright, got all my reinforced stone. This used to be one of my favorite blocks. It's such a pain to make now, though. I don't know that I'd use it as much. So we'll just throw these back in here. I've already made the mass fabricator. I think I've already made the scanner. Yep. So we need to make a replicator, which I think I'm only lacking now. The HV transformers. Nope, I'm lacking more than that. I bet those are in my crafting grid at the other terminal, because I was checking it out before I started. Yeah, there they are. So I'll need to make a few of those things, and then we're going to need to make the pattern storage and a pattern, I believe. What is that thing called? We make it with this crystal memory. I need to cook one of those. We'll just keep it right here for safekeeping. So now that we've got that, let me craft these other few things, and then hopefully we can set this up. One other thing I forgot about, the mining lasers, which I may have already made some of the pieces for. I've got a recipe for the energy crystal. Totally forgot about this recipe. This one, kind of a pain. You also need reinforced stone and 2 crystal memories for that. So, just a little side note. Be right back. Alright, I've got everything but the recycler, which is just a compressor with a couple other things. Nothing like crafting something like this to find out what you're lacking in your auto crafting patterns. I forgot a bunch of stuff. We'll just put it that way. Not a huge deal though. Okay, so we'll get one of these guys, and we're gonna need a couple of other things. We're gonna need another ejector upgrade. And we're going to need a fluid ejector upgrade also. What is this thing? Okay. Alright, there's our electric motor. And let's see if we can make this one yet. We can. Okay, excellent. One other thing. I don't know if I already made glass fiber cable. We're going to need it at some point. I made the recipe, which means I had to have had some of it, right? Let's see. Maybe I just made the pattern. And I guess I don't have any glass. I don't know how that happens. I think you only get one of these per craft now. It's a much different recipe than it used to be, but that's okay. So we'll just worry about this a little later. I'll just make 10 of them for now. We'll just let it go. And we'll sleep again. I don't really have the power to run this stuff yet. It seems like this season I'm making things and then making the power for them after the fact. But that's not a big deal. Basically, I'll probably end up using solars, which I think I made some patterns for. I actually do have a few MV arrays, and I set up a small rubber farm over here simply because you use so much rubber making circuits and stuff. I had to do it. I'll probably put the reinforced watering can and an autonomous activator over there because those things just don't grow fast enough. So this is the actual order that I put these things in. I put the scanner, and then the pattern storage, and then the replicator, then the mass fab, and I put the recycler next to it. So let me see. That's 6, of course. So we'll just leave a space on the end, I guess. And the autofill is getting me. And I want to make sure that I put these down where I actually need them, because I don't want to have to break them. Okay, so we're going to give power to these guys, I guess. Probably not a bad idea. So what I'll do, we'll just grab some glass fiber from the ME and some solars. We'll just give them solar power for now. Looks like we have enough of these. Let's grab all 4 of those. I would like to make this an HV, but it takes so long to craft them. I'll have to do that later. Okay, so we're going to run this. If I can place it right here. And I suppose what we can do for now, since I don't have a roof, we can just put the solars behind the machines. I think that'll work okay. I don't think anything will blow up. So none of them are getting power. It is daytime. They do have the little icon. The mass fabricator is already working. That's probably why. It's not a bad idea to give the mass fab its own power source if you can, because it'll suck up all the power if you let it. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the iridium in the scanner, and we're going to put this thing, I think it goes, maybe you have to finish first. Let's not let the mass fabricator do anything yet. Just so we can get some power to these machines. Oh, my crystal memory went right here. Energy loss, no kidding. Okay, I'll let this finish, then we'll continue the process. Okay, that thing finally finished. We want to save it to the crystal memory. I'm only going to need this once because I don't think I'm going to scan and replicate anything else. So we put this in the pattern storage, and we're going to import from crystal. And then over here, we pick iridium. And it can't do anything yet. I guess it doesn't have enough power. This thing, I think, sucks up a lot. So let's actually move it. Make sure my wrench is charged, and we'll make sure I'm in lossless mode, just because I think we actually do need to keep the pattern storage here. I'm not really sure about that because the replicator gets its information from this guy. So now the recycler and the mass fabricator. We put this thing back down. It was already at like 40%, so I lost a little bit. What I do, I put cobblestone or something in this guy. And what we want to do, we want to set our ejector upgrades to output to whatever direction that is. We put the regular one in here. And the mass fab now makes fluid, which you can pump out. You can put into cells or whatever. I just automatically eject it this direction, which will go straight in this machine when there's enough to output. And I think it goes to this tank. So it's going to take a while. This is not it's not a fast process. So let's get something. We'll throw some cobble in here, for instance. Whenever we do get some scrap, it'll automatically get put in the mass fabricator, and it will speed up the progress. However, This is only going to work during the daytime, obviously, because we're using solar panels. And frankly, the more power, the better for something like this. This is the IC2 power sink, the EU, kind of like the laser drill is for RF. See that amplifier? That means we just got some scrap from the recycler into this guy. So what we can do, if I have some overclockers, we can put some overclockers in this. It goes much faster, and I'll need to feed it something. Maybe I'll get some green cable and I'll just feed it all the cobblestone in my system, or the smooth stone, since I'm silk touching on the ender quarry. Let's see, we've got 1 million of it. I think that's a great idea. And I don't have an export bus. And let me find my green cable also. I don't know why I keep that random stuff in this chest, but for some reason that's where I've been keeping it. So I'll probably redo the solars later. Once I make 4 more MVs, I'll turn them into a high voltage, which is about 512. So I don't even think we're going to need this cable where it is. So let's just go ahead and reroute it. I am going to need at some point, I'll want to export the iridium, but that's going to be a while. It's not like I'm going to have a significant amount of it anytime soon without way more power. And I don't know of a good way in this pack to convert RF to EU. That would honestly be probably the fastest way to do it. So we're definitely going to need acceleration cards for that. I thought I saw a couple in here. I did. Cool. How many will that take? 4? We better make all 4. Alright, we definitely want to keep this thing full. And I might be able to put a few more overclockers in it, but I'm not really concerned about it. I think that's pretty fast. It's a pretty fast machine anyway. And this does not have enough power. It has 1 millibucket of UU matter in it so far. So I probably should have started this last week so we could have 2 millibuckets of UU matter. But once it gets enough UU matter, I think it needs a bucket and enough power. It'll replicate the iridium. I think it puts it right here. I haven't hit start yet. I'll just go ahead and do repeat run. And it used the UU 1%. So it is 1 bucket per replication. Ooh, look at that. We got another one. Cool. So I'm not sure if that guy takes overclockers. I don't know if it would do any good, since you can never give it enough power. Doesn't really look like it. So this is going to take a while. Probably we'll have some iridium in, say, July, if we're lucky. But we know that. We know it's a slow process. No big deal. So guys, that is going to do it for this episode hopefully I'll have something more substantial in the way of power shortly. And if I do come up with that, I'll show it to you in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.